Actually, one time through Aida is probably enough. Yeah.
Okay, let's do that.
I like that. I like that.
Aida.
The white book.
You may be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome. We begin today's ceremony by acknowledging the land on which the University of Washington Bothell campus is located. We acknowledge the present and ongoing occupation of the ancestral homelands and traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples. The University of Washington Bothell was built upon and still occupies the traditional shared lands and waters of the Muckleshoot, Snoqualmie, Stillaguamish, Suquamish, and Tulalip nations. We recognize the indigenous peoples and nations of the land as its original stewards and caretakers. And now I am honored to welcome all of you to the 34th annual commencement ceremony of the University of Washington Bothell. I'm Tyson Marsh, and I am an associate professor in the School of Educational Studies and the vice chair of the General Faculty Organization. It is my esteemed honor to serve as your Grand Marshal today. At this ceremony, we welcome all family members, friends, faculty, and staff to celebrate this great day with the class of 2025. Will everyone who is able please rise for the national anthem, performed by Mika Adriano, a UW Bothell student who is graduating today with a Bachelor of Science degree in nursing from the School of Nursing and Health Studies.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Mika. I now have the honor of welcoming to the podium the Chancellor of the University of Washington Bothell, Dr. Kristen Esterberg.
Thank you, Dr. Marsh. To our class of 2025, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, family, and friends, welcome to this most extraordinary day. I am so pleased we're gathered together to celebrate this remarkable milestone. Now, the University of Washington has 3 unique campuses in Seattle, in Tacoma, and of course, our own campus in Bothell. Ultimate responsibility for these campuses rests with the 11 members of the University of Washington Board of Regents. These dedicated individuals devote invaluable insights and time to our university. I would like to introduce those who are able to join us this afternoon. Please hold your applause until all have been named. Blaine Tamaki, Chair of the Board of Regents. Leonard Forsman, Vice Chair of the Board. Rogelio Riojas, and David Zeke. Thank you all for being here today. We are also joined today by University of Washington Provost, Dr. Tricia Serio, and by University of Washington President, Dr. Anna Mari Kause. In her first 2 years in office, Provost Serio has shown great interest in our campus community and commitment to work as a public university dedicated to serving our local region. And for 10 years, President Kause has led our tri-campus university with integrity, with courage, and with true heart. She's been a strong partner in the development and the success of the Bothell campus. As she steps down as president later this month and returns to the faculty, I want to acknowledge her vision and her leadership, which has made a mark on all 3 campuses and on UW-Medicine. Please join me in thanking her on behalf of the UW-Bothell community. It is my immense honor to have Provost Serio and President Kause join us for today's commencement ceremony. I also want to acknowledge members of our campus leadership team who work day in and day out to make UW-Bothell the outstanding campus it is. The names of the Chancellor's Executive Committee are listed in the program, but can they, as well as all members of the Chancellor's Cabinet, now stand so we can recognize you? Thank you. Now, a bit about today's graduates, the class of 2025, a group that is more than 1,900 students strong. They come from as close as the city of Bothell itself, from across Washington state, and as far away as Rwanda. 1,667 of you are receiving baccalaureate degrees today. 6 students will receive their Washington State residency certificates in education, and 246 are receiving master's degrees today. At the end of our ceremony today, the entire class of 2025 will be part of our network of more than 34,000 UW-Bothell alumni. Now, if you are graduating today and you are the first in your family to receive a college degree, would you please rise or raise your hand and please stay standing so we can recognize you? Please. I ask you to stay standing if you can. Now, if you are a veteran or part of a military family and are you graduating today, would you please rise if you're able or raise your hand? And again, stay standing and keep your hand high. We are so proud of you. And please keep standing. If you help to raise children or to support a family while earning your degree, will you again please rise or raise your hand and accept our immense respect for this undertaking? In fact, all of you overcame challenges, large and small, in order to cross the stage today. Will all members of the class of 2025 please stand or raise your hand so we can acknowledge your commitment to your education? To everyone who is gathered here in community with us today, I proudly present to you the UW-Bothell graduating students of the class of 2025. Graduates, you can be seated now. Thank you. Now, graduates, I know you are well prepared for what's ahead of you and poised to make a tremendous impact in our community, in the state of Washington, and around the world. So as you leave here today, I hope you know that you will always be a part of the UW-Bothell community. You will forever be a UW-Bothell Husky. Now, a word about your family and friends who celebrate with you today, and with a special shout out to all the fathers here on Father's Day. Thank you. The people here in the stands, those watching the live stream at home, as well as those who could not attend, are thinking about you today and your academic accomplishments. You are here because they've supported you and inspired you on your journey in higher education. I want to thank all of them for being part of the UW-Bothell community too. Thank you. I would also like to take a moment to recognize all the faculty and staff, many of whom are here today, who helped you along your educational journey, from first-year programs to student advising, those teaching core and elective courses, leading research projects, supporting community outreach, keeping our campus beautiful and safe, helping you connect with employers, making your college years fun, and so much more. You, our staff and faculty, play an integral role in making this day possible for our students. Thank you. Now to the class of 2025, congratulations. I am so proud of all you've accomplished, and I know I will continue to be proud of all you will do as you leave UW-Bothell to make our communities better. I'm not saying it will be easy. You are graduating into one of the most challenging periods in recent history, but I know you are well prepared to meet this historical moment. At UW-Bothell, you learned how to engage with people from different backgrounds, and you were awakened to the beauty of life experiences different from your own. You learned how to make your way through difficult conversations, allowing space for other viewpoints, and finding common ground to move forward. Knowing how to navigate working constructively alongside those with whom you disagree will serve you well in your career and in your community. Through our interdisciplinary programs, you learned that there's more than one way to approach a challenge, and that the end result is richer, more robust than you could have imagined. Through your group projects, you learned the value of teamwork, and you know firsthand that by working together, you can make the impossible possible. You have grit, you have courage, and most of all, you have compassion. You are resilient, as you have shown through your time here at UW-Bothell. So as you graduate, I'm reminded of the words of historian Howard Zinn, who said, "We don't have to engage in grand, heroic actions to participate in the process of change. Small acts, when multiplied by millions of people, can transform the world." To be hopeful in bad times is not just foolishly optimistic. It is based on the fact that human history is a history not only of cruelty, but also of compassion, sacrifice, courage, and kindness. And if we remember those times and places, and there are many, where people have behaved magnificently, this gives us the energy to act. The future is an infinite succession of presents, and to live now as we think human beings should live, in defiance of all that is bad around us, is itself a marvelous victory. You, students, leave me with hope by living fully and magnificently, and by honoring your full, authentic selves. You will change this world. So thank you again for being a part of our community. Once a UW-Bothell Husky, always a UW-Bothell Husky. And this is certainly no goodbye. Now, Now it is my great pleasure to introduce our graduate student speaker, Brianna Farrow. Later in the program, she, along with all our other master's level students, will be hooded on stage by faculty or advisors from each school, a special practice that recognizes the completion of a graduate degree. While at UW-Bothell studying for her Master of Arts in Policy Studies in the School of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences, Brianna was also co-founder and vice president of the Bothell Policy Advocacy Coalition, an organization that ensures students are not just participants in policy discussions, but also leaders in them. I am so impressed with her care for others and her desire to make a difference on and off campus. Please join me in welcoming to the stage your 2025 graduate student speaker, Brianna Farrow.
Hello, everyone. Happy Father's Day to all of our graduating fathers and the ones who are sharing your day with us. Thank you. I'd like to tell you a story, if you don't mind. So, on our first day of orientation, a UW-Bothell alumni had told us that graduate school was like climbing Mount Everest. I remember nodding and thinking, sure, okay. But now, I do get it, because this absolutely was a climb. Some of us had started straight out of undergrad, fueled by ambition and caffeine. Some came back after years, wondering if we could still do this. Some balanced jobs, kids, caregiving, and study sessions so exhausting that sleep had become a distant memory. Some sat in classrooms as the only woman, the only person of color, the only disabled student, the only one wondering, do I really belong here? And yet, we are here. Not because it was easy, not because we always knew what we were doing, but because every time that we hit a wall, we continued climbing. And if there's one thing about Everest, it's this: you don't reach the top alone. I think back to the nights when the world was so quiet you could hear your own exhaustion. The hum of your laptop, the flipping of book pages, the slow rhythm of your own breathing as you pushed through one more chapter, or just one more hour. That kind of silence, it's the same silence they say you hear near the summit of Everest, because up there is no more noise, no more shortcuts, only the weight of what it took to get there, and the decision to keep going. But here's the thing, we didn't climb this alone. When it all felt like too much, it wasn't just our own willpower which kept us going, it was our teams. Professors who pushed us, classmates who became family, friends, coworkers, mentors who believed in us, families, partners, kids, the people who sacrificed so we could be here today. Because that's the thing about Everest. No one summits alone. And now, we've summited. We've reached the top. We pushed through doubt, the exhaustion, and the impossible. So, take this in. Look around you, because this view, we earned it. But here's what they don't tell you. You don't stay here. You celebrate, you take it in, and then you climb back down. Because the world does not change because of those who stay at the top. It changes because of those who carry what they've learned back down and build something better. And that is what happens next. Because we didn't climb this far just to stop here. We climbed to help others up. We climbed to change the view for those who come next. And if this journey has proven anything, it's this: we are the ones who do not give up. We are the ones who keep climbing. We are the ones who turn impossible into possible. And that means we are ready for whatever comes our way next. Because when our next impossible climb comes, and it will, we will know exactly what to do. We will take a deep breath, plant our feet, and say, I've been here before, and I know how to climb. So, take a breath. Because tomorrow, our next climb begins. But tonight, go take a nap. You've totally earned it. Congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you, Brianna, for your inspiring words. At this time, I would like to introduce Fernanda Armas, who graduates today from the School of Interdisciplinary Arts and Sciences with a Bachelor of Arts in Psychology and a minor in Policy Studies. Fernanda also served as this year's president of the Associated Students of the University of Washington, Bothell. It has been my great pleasure to work closely with her on a wide variety of initiatives and to learn from her about the experiences and needs of our students. So please join me in welcoming Fernanda to the podium and thanking her for her service.
Good afternoon, Chancellor Esterberg, faculty, staff, family, friends, and most importantly, the unforgettable class of 2025. It's an honor to be standing here today, looking out at a sea of people, many of whom, like me, quite honestly, may have no idea what's coming next. And somehow, that makes this moment even more exciting. Because the truth is, being in your 20s is wild. It's like constantly being on the verge of figuring things out and then being humbled by a $7 coffee, an identity crisis, or a broken printer 5 minutes before your final. But what I've come to realize is, being a little lost, that's not a flaw, it's part of the magic. We're allowed to change our minds, to shift our dreams, to fail and start again. This decade of our lives isn't about having a perfect plan. It's about learning how to walk confidently through the unknown. And if you're sitting here feeling like the world is a little messy right now, politically, socially, economically, you're not wrong. It is. But here's the thing. We get to be the ones to fix it, to build something better, to be the generation that sees the cracks and plants seeds in them instead of looking away. That doesn't mean we must have it all figured out by tomorrow. It just means we're brave enough to care. When I transferred to UW Bothell, I was still figuring out who I was. Somewhere between group projects and ASU2B meetings, between working jobs and event planning, I found a version of myself I actually like. Someone who didn't need to know everything, but who knew she could learn anything. I've had the privilege of serving as student body president here in UW Bothell. And through that, I've seen what this community is capable of. How students can rally around one another, challenge systems, and still show up with laughter, compassion, creativity, and happiness. A special thank you to Tashar and Rajbir, who are here in the crowd and are graduating today. You showed me that it's possible to lead with strength and softness, to find balance without burning out. That's the kind of leadership that the world needs right now. Leadership that listens, that reflects, and evolves. And speaking of leadership, there's a quote I've always loved. And yes, it's from Marvel. And before you roll your eyes, hear me out. With great power comes great responsibility. Now, we've all heard that line before. It's Peter Parker's guiding principle. But standing here today, it feels a little different. Because we do have power, now and today. Not the superhero kind, I wish, but the kind that matters more. The power of perspective, of resilience, of showing up with heart. That power doesn't mean we need to fix the world overnight. That's never gonna happen. It means we're responsible of how we show up in our communities, how we treat people, how we protect others, and how we choose courage over comfort. That's the kind of heroism we're being called to right now. And through it all, we never walk alone. So let me take a moment to say thank you to the professors who believed in us even when we didn't raise our hands, to the advisors and mentors who saw potential when we only saw panic and failure, to the friends who stayed up late helping us cram for midterms and finals or reminded us to drink water and turn in our participation points on time before the due date. And to my support system, thank you. To my family, my parents, my best friends, and my partner, thank you for being my grounding force and my cheerleaders. To my advisors and all my support system, you all carried me through moments when I couldn't carry myself, and I stand here because of you. To the class of 2025, this is your chapter break. You've survived the prequels, the plot twists, the character development arcs, and now we begin again. What you do doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be yours. So go out and explore, get lost, change your mind, mess up, rebuild, and love the process of becoming. Because maybe we weren't meant to find ourselves after all. Maybe we were meant to create ourselves again and again and again, with every lesson, every risk, and every person we met along the way. Congratulations, we made it. And the best part, we're just getting started. Thank you.
Thank you, Fernanda, and thank you again for your leadership. 2 of our graduates are receiving special honors today, the Chancellor's Medal and the President's Medal. The Chancellor's Medal is presented to a graduating student in recognition of their extraordinary commitment to learning, overcoming obstacles, and serving as a source of inspiration for fellow students and faculty. I am proud to present the Chancellor's Medal to Nivea Martinez, who is graduating today with a Bachelor of Science degree in Computer Science and Software Engineering from the School of STEM. I'd ask you to turn your attention to the video screen to learn more about Nivea.
I wasn't entirely sure if I even wanted to go to college. I had lots of imposter syndrome, but UW Bothell had my back. They're really big on first-gen support, and I've always felt welcomed when I step onto campus. I think I've just always grown up with a lot of resilience. I'm from a small community. I'm from the Yakima Valley. Education has never been my first priority. Surviving mainly was. When I was about 12 years old, I was placed into state care along with my 3 brothers. And my very young aunt took me in. And I am very grateful for that experience because it taught me what it looks like to have your entire environment change, like in a split second. But I really had an amazing small community. They fundraised for me to go to STEM camp. I was in robotics club. It was not funded well, but I was in it. I learned to kind of be proud of where I come from and the community that supported me for so long. My brothers are probably the most creative people I know, but they didn't get the opportunity to pursue higher education. So I feel like me being here and making the most out of it is doing them justice. Here at UW Bothell, I got to experience a month in Spain researching cybersecurity and AI, and I would have never got that experience if it wasn't for my education. I want to spread that knowledge to communities that would benefit most from it and secure their safety, honestly. When I was young, I knew there was opportunity in the world. Now, I understand what that really means. I'm currently being mentored to pursue my PhD program, and I'll be applying this fall. I've seen a lot of other students that are equally ambitious, equally driven. To be acknowledged for it, I'm so grateful, and I feel so proud. The thing I enjoy the most is that my family gets to know that I made the most out of every opportunity that was given to me.
We wish you well as you continue your academics and earn your PhD. We are so proud. I would now like to invite University of Washington President Kause to the lectern to announce the President's Medal.
And it's my honor to present the President's Medal to Emerald Trish, who's graduating with a Bachelor of Arts in Health Studies from the School of Nursing and Health Studies. Please join me in learning more about Emerald.
My evolution as a student has been pretty drastic given where I started. Little me would be like crazed if she could see me now. She was so shy and so scared and so like very driven to this one thing, which was just be a doctor. I was set to go to medical school and that was all I had ever known. But UW Bothell just gave me a lot of freedom to explore, especially with opportunities to do research and work in labs. I thought about it and I was like, I still want to put public health first, but I really like the appeal of working towards bettering scientific advancement. Thinking about switching was really scary, but ultimately being a researcher is what I aspire to be. One of my professors who's been really influential in my academic career, he studies stem cells. Stem cells are cells that can differentiate to anything they haven't specialized yet. He likes to make a comparison with his students. His students can also be whatever they want to be, and I think that's a really important message that I've taken with me. Change is good and change is okay. Pushing past your boundaries is sometimes necessary to succeed. I was really honored to receive the Husky 100. I got it with my research partner, Vivian Lamb. My research team has been working to design a short mindfulness intervention to reduce test anxiety. It's been really inspirational to work with all the people and see the true impacts that our research is having on the Bothell campus. I think it's something that I would not have imagined ever doing when I was going into college. And now coming out, being collaborative, being confident enough to even do this interview and put myself out there and apply for all the things that I have applied for, I think that's really important to me. Stem cells can still specialize to do whatever they want, and I can still do whatever I want and succeed.
Now, come on, everybody. Aren't UW Washington Bothell students amazing? Good afternoon, graduates, faculty, family, and friends. And congratulations to the University of Washington Bothell class of 2025. And get used to being congratulated a lot because you deserve it. And I'm very honored to be here with Chancellor Esterberg, with your faculty, your mentors, your staff, and the many supporters who have walked this path with you. Today is your day to revel in this tremendous achievement. Because each diploma is not only a reflection of your drive and talent, but also, as other speakers have mentioned, it's a testament to your grit, to your ability and courage to invest in yourself and in all of our future. But none of us completes our most significant journey alone. Each of us has reached this point with the encouragement and support of loved ones, your families, your friends, your teachers, your partners, your children. That's why it's so fitting that as we celebrate your individual success, we bring together so many of those who have supported you every step of the way. So, to all the parents, grandparents, siblings, children, partners, and loved ones joining us, thank you. Thank you. And thank you not just for showing up today, but for all those moments, big and small, when your encouragement and support helped make this day a reality. Now, this is going to be my final commencement as president of the University of Washington. It's a very bittersweet moment, but I'm deeply honored that I get one more opportunity to say congratulations to the UW Bothell graduating class. Feels good to say that. You all make me feel so proud and so hopeful. As Chancellor Esterberg pointed out, your first-generation college students, community college transfers, veterans, caregivers, working parents, and those who return to school after many years away. Not a one of you got here without facing challenges, and each of you sacrificed something to be here. Some of you huge sacrifices, some of you smaller, but you all sacrificed, and your perseverance deserves to be celebrated. Now, it's easy on this day filled with joy to forget the setbacks, but I encourage you to take a moment, just one moment to remember them, not to kill the vibe, but to truly appreciate your resilience. Those moments of uncertainty, frustration, self-doubt, they only highlight how far you've come and the strength that you've developed in getting here. You're entering a new world, a dynamic and yes, a challenging world. But the skills that you've honed here through coursework, research, group projects, internships, study abroad, and more will serve you well. The job market you're going to compete in is diverse and interconnected, and your UW-Bothell experience has prepared you to thrive in it because you've learned in a setting that values different perspectives. And that experience is going to be an asset, whether you stay here in Washington or head out towards the horizon. Whether you go to work for a large global company like Costco, or a local nonprofit, or a startup, or you might create your own startup, you're ready. You'll bring curiosity, creativity, and thoughtful engagement to whatever you do. And more than ever, we need you. The world needs your voice, your ideas, your passion. The challenges ahead are real, but your compassion, determination, and courage are primed to meet them. And your impact won't stop at your workplace. It will extend into every corner of your neighborhoods, your civic life, your communities of faith, and your own families. Today is an inflection point. It's a milestone. It's a beginning. You step forward with confidence, grounded in what you've achieved here, and excitement for the endless potential ahead of you. Everyone here on the stage, in the audience, is so incredibly proud of what you've accomplished. And we can't wait to see what you do next. Go forward. Build, create, serve, lead, heal, explore. Congratulations, UW-Bothell class of 2025. I almost forgot. What happens now? We get to award your degrees. Dr. Sharon A. Jones, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, will present the candidates for the master's degree, and they will be conferred by Regent Tamaki.
It is my privilege to present our graduate candidates. School by school, we will ask our candidates to come to the stage to receive their hood and then their diploma. A quick note about the regalia. Each graduate academic degree is represented by a different color, while the hoods represent the institution conferring the degree. Graduates, I hope you receive your University of Washington Bothell hood with great pride. Will the master's candidates in the schools of Nursing and Health Studies and Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics please rise? Regent Tamaki, I am honored to present these master's degree candidates from the schools of Nursing and Health Studies and Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. I recommend that all who have fulfilled the requirements prescribed by the graduate faculty of the University of Washington, Bothell be awarded the master's degree.
Thank you, Sharon. On behalf of the Board of Regents and the faculty of the University of Washington, Bothell, I am pleased to confer upon you your respective master's degrees from the School of Nursing and Health Studies and Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. Congratulations. We are so proud of you and your accomplishments. You will now be presented with a memento of this commencement ceremony.
Master's candidates from the School of Nursing and Health Studies. Jessica E. Barajas.
Anna M. Wilson.
Mariah Ballinger Warnes.
Melanie M. Jorgensen. Kelsey M. Hughes. Jonathan D. Haldorson. Lisa L. Howard.
Kristen Young.
Elizabeth Rose Nunnally.
Rachel Ritter. Gretchen Rudersdorf.
Camille Clark.
Jennifer Okimoto.
Felice Shirley Spearman Altheimer. Melissa A. Hamilton. Lilian Aburoman. Betzelot Samuel Buffa.
Abigail Maurera. Hillary Cam Huang Nguyen. Anthony T. Pham Brem. Pia B. Sampaga Kim.
Rachel Allison.
Anna Pekic. Jacqueline Richards. Sydney Pope.
Veronica S. James. Atul S. Ahire.
Vedang S. Parasnis.
Pragati A. Dode.
Reza Rahimi.
Tav C. Wheeler.
Yuzi Wong. Wan Hu Na. Sarah M. Martell. Phat Tien Tran.
Michael Lee.
Elias A. Martin. Durga Rohini Madasami.
Jeremy Newton.
Amalaya Oyake.
Pratmesh Balanch.
Sharon Vetiswaran.
Manu Hegde.
Atman Prajapati. Avikant Wadwa. Raj D. Parekh.
Jaswant Lagadapati.
Venkatasai Kaushik Reddy Mehta.
Niraj Baipuredi. Vivekananda Reddy Lenkala.
Arjun Taneja.
Surbhi Gupta.
Shivam G. Power.
Janya N. Bisani.
Siddhant Thakur.
Boyan H. Hristov.
James Trong,
Le Yu Gao,
Ruoxi Su, Xuanje Zhou,
Vanessa F. Arndorfer, Alan T. Lai,
Akbarbek Ezamatovich Rahmatullayev, Tuan Tran,
William Shen Hao,
Brianna L. Powell,
Kevin J. Graff, Jacob L. Kemple,
Pankti Bhaskar Shah, Swanand A. Wag,
Hari Priya Danasekaran, Rithi Afra Gerald Jothi,
Azmin Kausar Mohammed, Shristi Srivastava, Hari K. Raj Kumar,
Nidhi Kumar, Amulya Holanarasipura Narayana, Pratik Narsingh Zado, Manpreet Kaur, Raghad Abdul Hamid Al Sulami,
Brenda Suhey Vega Contreras,
Master of Science in Electrical and Computer Engineering. Adam Loper.
Hubert Huang, Eric Bethune,
Justin Shiyi, Tony Nguyen,
Master of Science in Cybersecurity Engineering.
Lakshana Jayakumar, Zui Aniket Bangali,
Nimish Srivastav,
Joshua Gigi, Clément Gumiero,
Christian A. Weimer, Joe K. Ma, Nicola Mihai, Aylin A. Onalin,
Sravya Cody, Sri Vaishnavi Jamala Purapu,
Saili Sengupta,
Master of Science in Electrical Engineering.
Sarah Bankin,
Pam H. Quinn.
Uttam Panda.
Austin Clare.
Congratulations to all our master's candidates and graduates. And now, Dr. Sharon A. Jones, Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs, will present the candidates for the bachelor's degree, and they will be conferred by Regent Tamaki.
Will the bachelor's degree candidates in the schools of Nursing and Health Studies and the School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics please rise? Regent Tamaki. Regent Tamaki, I am honored to present these bachelor candidates from the schools of Nursing and Health Studies and the School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics for the baccalaureate degree. I recommend that all who have fulfilled the degree requirements be awarded their degree.
Thank you again, Sharon. On behalf of the full Board of Regents and the faculty of the University of Washington, Bothell, I am pleased to confer upon each of you the bachelor's degree. Congratulations.
Bachelor's candidates from the School of Nursing and Health
You will
Studies.
now be presented with the memento of this commencement ceremony.
Micah E. Adriano.
Zaira B. Rubio.
Kulwinder Jaswal. Isabel J. Boligao. Carly C. Coeli. Christopher F. Kobayashi.
Madeline Twombly. Rochelle D. Shibuya. Michaela Mitzelfeld.
David A. Balon. Catherine Bowe. Jairi J. Flores Machuca.
Aaron M. Warnock.
Ma'at Farah.
Salma Ibrahim.
Zainab Al-Rubai.
Manisha Ann McGrew.
Carla Alvarez.
Kylie T. Mendez. Amira Ann Munoz.
Destiny Dow Kamsuk. Tavalan Barbakdal.
Veronica Anna Polowski,
Tanner C. Borlier,
Fabian Urrutia, Najma I. Salaks,
Hibo A. Ali,
Amina Saliban,
Killian C. Downey, Emerald Trish, Esther Kim, Joseph Kim, Munira Abdurrahman, Aliyah A. Hassan,
Alice M. Wu, Munira Saeed,
Brahima H. Hassani, Najma Ali, Ria Dillon, Sarah S. Elakil, Sophia G. Jordison,
Mercy Ninsima,
Deanna K. Hopkins,
Christine J. Spross Ramsey, Madison Kaylin Meadows, Kendall L. Muller,
Sonia Lee, Ashiana Emily Estrada Vargas,
Hawinet Roba,
Helen Tekeste, Bizawet Araya, Betanya Germasisian, Faven G. Jermay, Natsanet Abraham,
Natsanet Paulos Negash, Zabib Paulos Negash, Alisa G. Tefer, Mibrit G. Taffer, Nima O. Warsame, Melissa Ministerio, Carolyn M. Manuis, Chelsea L. Morell, George Okuro,
Razaf Araya Walardagai,
Lucia T. Gebremichael,
Aaliyah N. Reed,
Francis Farley, Jiaxin Duan,
Najma Banai,
Ryan C. Barr, Lydia T. Lavon, Bisola B. Fakoya, Adhikari. Anna Chinchilla.
Hajo Shale. Maida Johannes.
Ellsworth M. Bennett.
Justina B. Tien. Iris Purganan.
Nicholas Roque Balena Ovena.
Joseph Tedros.
Huma B. Ali. Hyojung Kim. Maylot G. Gebra Meskel.
Gwen Rushing.
Alyssa S. Levinson. Maria Albert. Giselle G. Garzon Rojas. Malcolm S. Gale. Rose N. Kimani. Quiva Frazier.
Adamaris Ocampo.
Jocelyn F. Lee. Sabine S. Drake.
Sumir Moroto.
Evan Lee Mayat Asqueta.
Justin S. Tang. Jasmine L. Sita.
Sophia Lee.
Natalie P. Peng Savan.
Casey Gonzalez.
Kaya Schubiger Lewis.
Ariel M. Cronin.
Sophie A. Meyer.
Binta Ba.
Chisomeje B. Ogbuji. Delina D. Nguyen. Evan Ramos.
Anthony A. Lamb. Bradley M. Cagle.
Rodis G. Wolda.
Lyudmila Krizanovska.
Miley Xiong Nguyen.
Abdullah Jallo. Tara Kim.
Brianna Tui. Alexis A. Raymond. Colin R. Brachovska.
Anne Lauren Ramirez.
Katina Danielle Hurtado. Christina Yu Chia. Punsawan Janjai.
Rupakshi Sharma. Michaela Swinger. Cynthia Martinez. Malet Y. Sivat.
Rachel Bacheli Kenna.
Jocelyn Reyes. Andrea Grace Zaragoza.
Elizabeth Cisse Alebachu. Kathleen Sung Kim. Zanta Abebe. Karen Doe. Trishala Dahal.
Seham Mihail. Salma S. Sheikh Ali.
The Alicia C. Gonzalez.
Mariam I. Mahfouz.
Dua Gahel Rasul.
Hana Mustafa Tahir. Sana Mustafa Tahir.
Dahlia Abraham. Fanan Emmanuel Bocre. Gabriela D. Forcino.
Mamusu Umbawa.
Khadija A. Karama.
Jenaba Sawane Fati.
Javaria Khan. Luna T. Ekalo.
Badosa Hassan.
Bachelor's candidates from the School of Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. Nicola Sava Kumik. Ilya D. Belyak.
Rajbir Singh Sandhu.
Mumin Ghani.
Peter H. Nguyen.
Taketora Ito. Casey Chan. Kevin Guan. Kian Farco. Jack L. Burkhalter.
Trithian L. Tran. Justin K. Pham. Jonathan Peraza.
Russell Hernandez.
Mohammed A. Sadaldin.
Margarita Tseaka Shelhua. Bui Hong Long.
Peterson Moon.
Aaron A. Guerrero.
Brandon Tran.
Adrian B. Choi. Ethan J. Camp. Nadia Fawzi.
Gabriel Najai.
Naya Lim.
Raya M. Shatnawi. Drew A. Rigby.
Caleb M. Jansen.
Vincent D. Wynn.
Horst John.
John M. Vertner. Connor J. McCullum Zempel. Nikhil Saddam.
Haley V. James. Emily Ann Marie Buckholtz. Trinity J. Hunter. David J. Kim.
Michael I. Sibley III. Ken M. Wing. Shwaran L. Xiang. Daniil Marozao. Eileen Pitio Tarpi. Danny Wynn.
Santhan R.D.
Diego A. Roldan Guzman.
John Adams. Luke W. Hansen.
Catherine Santos.
Samantha Allison Maloa Brown. Braden Beck. Tommy Ho Hong. Atharva Ladha.
Christian E. Perez.
Joseph M. Casement.
Charlotte B. Morrison. Dylan T. Womack.
Kevin Zong. Wesley Z. Choi.
Min Soo Kim.
Samarpan Malla. Sandesh Rai.
Ananya Gupta.
Suraj R. Patel. AJV Vegaraju.
Tushar Kanti and Kanta.
Pranav T. Manchikanti. Azhan M. Zahir. Lin Jiang. Feng Wai To. Lalita Ditya Nelapali. George B. Vu.
Lakshay M. Huda. Matthew J. Campbell.
Mahad Shakil. Hamza Shahzad. Shayaz Pithawala. Disha Mahajan. Yash Sivarde.
Savannah Lucero. Bethlehem Alamu. Liliana Elizabeth Flores Contreras.
Anna E. Ritchie.
Charity S. Jennings. Erica Roque Lee. Galila T. Bakela.
Zachariah H. Umer.
Joseph D. Dudinsky. Jiaqi Guo.
Delric Nantho. Carol K. Mew. Jaron A. Yucker. Partha Maladi. Brandon Wong.
Michael Albert.
Adele G. Nolan.
Ariana L. Beloyu. Aiden Azeka. Christine Ihara. Layla Lynn Landverde. Matthew L. Kronk.
Andrew Madison.
Ziad El Gwindi. Jennifer Chinazam Ijere. Yu Din. Kian L. Dang.
Hayden K. Nesmith.
Matthew N. David.
Samuel Wong. Neil Sangeeth Bitra.
Julian Johnson. Cheng Wei Lin.
Sahar Nabizai. Kate Abigail Komanalo.
Aaron S. Holtz. Mai Boyle.
Skylar S. Velez. Justin Gabriel Yapoko. Frank Zheng. Andrew Van Nguyen. Ming Xiao Vu.
Win H. Ha.
Jingxia Xiao. Grace Cecilia Setiawan. Sahong Song.
Ong Xia Ding.
Zain Zaman.
Andrew Lim. Travis K. Huynh. William S. Cluck. Jonathan Hamaker.
Marzaya Topiwala.
Sieda Joffrey. Rinkal Faldu.
Gabrielle L. Omega. Nithisha Satish Kumar.
Miraj Ezgin. Omrit Pal Kaur.
Tracy Monica Pham. Hanso Pham. Orea Oprian.
Carlos E. Gonzalez.
Andy Vu Pham.
Ralph Alexander.
Karsten B. Schmidt. Shyam Ramesh.
Jordan Lovegear. Bailey Jerome Cayos. Sean Cushman. Vinaya Chava.
Nivea Sarah Martinez.
Vladimir Kupruchin. Henry A. Haight. Cooper J. Keeley.
Donald W. Phillips. Hong K. Win. Selena H. Yu.
Lawrence Kyle Arangoy Isla. Ian C. Jones. Preston R. Leon.
Jordi Ruiz.
Henry Fillard. Henok A. Arega. Delora I. Kahl. Adam Ki Chor.
Victoria Maxon Lan.
Manaswi Sukatankar.
Homing G. Dulgun Delgerbat. Nat M. Huynh.
Anup Prasad.
Nolan M. De La Rosa.
George Tarumi Soranaka III.
Jack Landers.
Jason Chung.
Giovanni Dominguez Maldonado.
Emma S. Pates. Lila N. Shamey. Matthew Rock.
Ibrahim A. Daria. Bruce Duong.
Mobe Yang.
Ahmed Jamil Mahmood.
Christina G. Tullo. Yelena X. Trin. Connor T. Weedman. Rowan F. Sirkin.
Jeffrey L. T. Durant. Aiden N. Krieger.
Xavier B. No. Sam D. Park. Donald A. Tan.
Victor H. Aguilar. Sutantu Balamurugan.
Jimmy Wynn. Catherine Q. Tran.
Siddiq A. Khan. Obed Ajay.
Martin Mugo.
Adisu Bogali. Hussein Ehrari.
Sumaya Yusuf.
Willow J. Anderson.
Hannah Wynn. Devin J. Sadora. Glick Angelo de Castro Oy.
Adam J. Atienza. Savannah L. Bunnell. Stephen R. Levesque.
Caitlin Tran.
Sydney Haugen. Samvel V. Kotarov. Gurleen Dosanjh.
Jasleen Kaur Sani.
Anushka A. Chuguli.
Fozia Rashid. Rimjim Sudhesh.
Yamilith Camacho.
Mike F. Vicencio. Jiwan Kaur Tib.
Truck Nguyen.
Zaryab Bushra.
Hyunyong Sung.
Hannah H. Kim. Joanna D. Agana. Vivian N. Lamb.
Na-eun Kim.
Natalia A. Rodriguez.
Daniel H. Kalinowski. Anthony Q. Doe.
Hung En Tai. Michael I. Osuoha. Prahas V. Pisipati.
Thomas B. Ampalur.
Kevin Pham. Thomas K. Wynn.
Nicolas Maxim Minu Juani.
James W. Wu.
Zachary P. Evangelista. Rachel Cooper.
Ella Carmen Silvas.
Noura Abdelkader.
Christian M. Paulos.
Mohammed T. El Walid. Miriam Emad Al Shamari. Christina Erfan.
Marina Sivanchenko. Jack McFarland. Jake V. Ta Win. Min T. Pham. Subhan Zaki Zada. Mandeep Masoon. Rohit K. Vami.
Jovan Kingsley.
Prishitha R. Mulakayala. Mohammed Manan. Hari Narayanan Mohan. Padmanabh V. Patil. Aditya S. Pillai.
Tony Lukic. Yaya Abdullah. Ricardo Estrada Jr.
Min Kyu Nguyen.
Brian Cuevas. Eduardo Batista de Oliveira.
Oscar Martinez Aguilar.
Christian Fabaker. Julian Hunt. Sarah Ann Bird. John Aylward. Jack Chambers.
Manuel Rodriguez.
Olive Easton.
Andy Hong.
Jason M. Tran.
Sarah Susan Cormanos.
Seattleine Faith Dar Mangidoyos.
Faith Elise Lambert. Jonathan Ha. Shivam Bakshi.
Regan Huang Vu. Kwa Di Tra. Selena M. Nguyen.
David Garcia Soria. David Kim. Kenneth Ho.
Asad Nur.
Majid Iqbal. Danielle Bubalim Mulu. Benjamin J. Lee.
Paul Adrian Sese. Anthony D. Vu. Kyler Tuan Tran.
Caleb C. Chun. Hawk Y. Chan.
Ronan Young Wen. Bharath Saravanan. Ian L. Young.
Reese Fernandez. Ryan Huang.
An Thi Truong.
Ethan Gauze. Isha Kaur Gill. Evelyn Kukhotska.
Sarah A. Mensa. Lola M.C. Sophia Orm.
Hannah Lorraine Ferris Heilman.
Madeline A. Barrett. Yaus Mariam Baharmast. Venkatasai Kiran Bora. Tyler Ingram. Vibhav Kalyan. Noel Baraki.
Phuong Q Truong.
Ao Shan Ku.
Bianca Vo,
Nido. Raquel Angulo Morales. Margaret Glad. Mark J. Giab. Kevin Bruntz. Nicole J. Brendamule.
Hannah V. Severson,
Nicole C. Amsbaugh. Nikki Caffrey.
Anwesha Naidu,
Daniel C. Lee.
Me Lee.
Rajveer Singh. Sirat K. Kinda.
Gianni N. Modafferi,
Alexander Kim.
Zachary M. Thomas, Gabriel J. Stoudinger,
Natalie C. Iskoa Kleinsasser. Hussein A. Fawad. Grant W. Carter. Shabir A. Habib.
Nicole Melgar,
Corzette Rose Dampak.
Uma Mazara.
Sarah M. Mansour, Aisha Mahmood,
Zainab E. Karatash.
Helena A. Moyer, Ashley M. Rundle, Arya Naderi,
Hyunjin D. Kim. Jeremy M. Ludlum. Kyle Dobbins.
Dongjin Nguyen,
Fong N. Bach.
Marvel P. Wichaksono, Siddhartha Phengsavan,
Evan Burns.
Avneet Singh,
Salvador A. Escamilla IV. Andrew S. Din.
Matthew R. Ovanesian, Youssef T. Syed,
Adonias Negusie Kibru.
Rami Mohammed, Abraham G. Tagegne, Ava O. Marmer, Nicholas Okialda,
Alyssa P. Garcia. Asma Abdallah. Asiya Ibrahim.
Zara Abdulaziz.
Catriona L. Grinnell, Audrey M. Kamen,
Sherlyn L. Shee, Jalen K. Midkiff, Abel S. Nolasco,
Sergey S. Barzul Jr., Elias Kladakis, Daisy Priscilla Gomez Jimenez, Hadia Amjad, Katrina L. Briggs,
Joshua Summer,
Joshua B. Fuhr, Yamin Ahmed, Walid Hassan, Zubair Abdi,
Agampreet Singh, Levi M. Williams,
Morgan J. Fuddy,
Yunus Unis Ishtawi,
Mark R. Zirkelbach, Jr.,
Timulen Amgalambatar,
Jason Shu, Andy K. Tat, Abhishek Mutabatula, Govind Pal, Gopalcharan S. Pal,
Samuel H. Awood,
Alex N. McHale,
Mufid Ashraf Dawood,
Now, graduates, as we prepare to close this ceremony, I ask you to please remain in your seats until the stage party has recessed out of the arena. Now, there's one more thing we need to ask you to do. With all of us as witnesses, you may now move your tassels from the right to the left. Congratulations. Class of 2025, you are now graduates of the University of Washington, Bothell. Let's celebrate.
The 34th annual commencement ceremony of the University of Washington, Bothell is hereby concluded. Congratulations again to all our new graduates.
Go away. We can't play if you're doing that. No, let's move this thing. Okay.
Take it away, sir.